Here's a potato soup recipe that has stuck with me over the years since college. It's easy to prepare, budget friendly, and totally satisfying. Let's put it together. Today for this soup, I'm using 1 pound of potatoes, boiling potatoes. They could be Yukon Gold or red skin potatoes. You'll want a bit of celery that equals anywhere between half to a full cup chopped, 1 egg, a bit of flour up to a cup, and then we're going to finish our soup off with either milk or you could use a non-dairy unsweetened beverage. And of course we'll need some seasonings along the way. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so we're just going to get on with our potatoes, and I am not peeling these. Part of the sort of nice homemade rugged texture, you just want to leave those skins on. And don't drive yourself crazy with any precision. We're just chopping into what you would consider nice bite-sized pieces. Alright, last one, nice rough chop, and into our pan. Alright, we're going to fill this up with a little bit of water just to cover the surface of the potatoes and get it on to boil. Again, I just fill to cover, and I'm going to put a lid on and bring that up to boil. Alright, and now on to our celery, and I'll share with you one of the things that I really like about this recipe is that the time that it takes for the potatoes to boil is about the same amount of time it takes for me to cut up all of this celery. Alright, let's see how we're looking here on our potatoes. Oh yeah, we've got a full rolling boil going. Great time to add our celery. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir in and let it come back to a boil. Okay, we are definitely back to a full rolling boil, and now that our water has come back up to a boil, this is a great time to add some salt, or if you're going to use any kind of stock base, you could do it now. You could certainly have started this off by boiling the potatoes in chicken stock. I don't have that kind of space in my kitchen to keep a lot of chicken stock on hand, so I really love these bases that you can buy in the grocery store. This is chicken, it's organic. You could certainly use bouillon cube. You can certainly leave it out and just use salt as well. But I know for this amount of liquid, about a tablespoon of the base that I use works pretty well. Again, if you didn't have that, salt could be just fine. I think this imparts just a little bit better flavor. I'm going to stir that back in. So we have about 15 minutes to go until these potatoes soften, and you can check them by poking a potato with a fork and see if it releases easily. That gives us plenty of time to move on to our final step, which are some homemade noodles. Alright, while that's going, one of my favorite parts of this soup are the homemade noodles. They are so easy, they don't have to look super fancy, and let me show you how quick it is to make them. Alright, so we're going to start by cracking an egg into our bowl. And then we're going to add some seasonings, salt and pepper to taste. I do like these noodles to be highly seasoned. Just break up the yolk with a fork. And now we're going to add enough flour to create a nice sticky dough. Again, just approximate. We'll start off with about half to 2/3 of a cup. Alright, nice and sticky. I'm going to add a little bit more flour. These are rough dumplings. We're going to turn them out onto our board, and we're going to do all of this by hand. No need for a rolling pin. Just get it together into one ball of dough. Alright, we've got a nice rough disc of dough, and now we're going to just cut this into noodles. Alright, we're at a great point. Our potatoes have certainly softened, and it's a nice time to add our noodles. So let me share with you one of my best tips to slicing noodles, and it is with a pizza cutter if you have it. If not, you can certainly use a knife. And I'm going to go for just simple, rough, about 1/2 inch wide strips. And then we're going to go across into sort of bite-sized pieces. So again, these are rough and homemade, so I'm going to break them up a bit as we drop them in. So now that our noodles have been in our potato and celery mixture for just a few minutes, the flour has thickened all of the liquid to a really nice consistency. This is a time where I'm going to take this off the heat and add a bit of milk, or again a non-dairy full-fat beverage. You just keep everything moving, and really with the milk, it is again sort of an approximate measure. I'm using about 2 cups here, until you think it looks soupy enough for you. This is not necessarily a thick, creamy soup the way that I make it, but if you wanted it that way, you could certainly use less milk. I think that's looking great. Alright, I'm just going to return it to the heat so we can warm this all through. It's had a chance to warm through, and actually it's thickened a bit more. I want to check now for seasonings. Oh, that's tasting great. I think it's time to have some of this. This soup is so satisfying and completely delicious on its own. But if you feel like zhuzhing it up just a little bit more, treat it like a baked potato for some toppings. So I love a little bit of shredded cheese. This is some sharp cheddar. And I happen to have a little bit of scallion. Ah, what a great soup. Potato soup with homemade noodles. I hope you enjoy it.